Standard greeting. I'm ADF Toxic. That was the 2-hour track challenge I did on July 19th of this year, 2018. In case you don't know, the 2-hour track challenge is something I usually do every week. And it's just a challenge for myself to make some sort of music that I wouldn't normally get the chance to make, experiment with different styles or different tools, different methods, things like that. And then what I like to do is a couple weeks after I make it, I do this little premiere here, where I'll tell you kind of the story of why I made the song like this week, and then show you a little bit of how I made it. I'll actually jump into Ableton here and show the project off. Also, the other thing I guess I do is make sure that I have a title, because right now I don't have a title for this. I really have no idea what the title of this one. So if there's anybody in chat that has any ideas, feel free to suggest something. Guess I'll start off with a story. This one was kind of the morning of that I made this. I had a song called Astral Dogma going through my head. It's a song that I came across on YouTube. I'd listened to quite a bit of Japanese music, J-rock, and I'll actually type that title into this chat here. Astral Dogma by Yosei Teiko. Should have you spell that. I couldn't remember if there was a U there. Like that. So that song was going through my head. And I had also had a new plugin that was just recommended to me called Alter Ego. I blanked on what it was called there. It's kind of like Vocalize in a way, except it's free. And a whole bunch of things coming together. I wanted to play with this because I just discovered it. I had been wanting for a while to try some J-Rocky stuff. Been listening to the stuff for a while. And also, another thing to note here, this is my first 2-hour track challenge in Ableton. I just started using it just a few weeks ago. There was quite a bit of figuring out how to work this new interface as well. But anyways, I guess since Marie Ork is up here, that's the singer, by the way. I'm just gonna show these lyrics here. I typed them in Japanese. You can type in English, clearly. I typed in Japanese because I wanted it to sound Japanese. Honestly, this is mostly gibberish. I just typed what sounded cool. I know there are a couple things in there I don't understand. Isn't it? Is it? I don't know. This is some sort of verb, but I don't know what it would be. It all gets lost in my mind when I'm listening to the song, which most Japanese music does. I don't know Japanese well enough to understand the lyricism listening to it. You know what? I mean, you know German that well. Anyways, one thing that I've found while I was working with this, though, is for a 2-hour track challenge, it tends to get out of sync. Like if I start playing from here, this point right here, it's playing the first line, which belongs here. And it should be playing this line here. So that was a slight bit annoying. It just means that I had to, every time I wanted to listen to what I just made as a whole, I couldn't start in the middle here or something if I wanted to test out this little line here. I had to start all the way from back here, which if you're on a time limit like I was here, that's where that gets really annoying. There is this CC here. You can apparently go in and change, if I remember how to use Ableton again. MIDI control pitch bend CC2. So you can see it's 2 here, so this should be... Oh, no wonder it wasn't working. Wait, I really don't know. Yeah, see, this is set to 1, yet it's still playing 0. So I don't know if that's a bug in the software or what, but either way, it wasn't helping me. Yeah, so that's that. Drums are pretty standard in here, I think. Just got a random loop or random things I chose from the search and dropped it into Song Creator and whatnot. Standard stuff that I always do. The bass, actually, I just rented a PJ bass, electric bass, so of course I got to play with that. I'll probably be using that for the next 2 months of my challenges. Got some guitar in there, and a Koto because I like the... this is another thing that I got recently. Whoop, that's not what I want. Pressing the wrong buttons. Koto Nation was a sound library that I picked up a couple months ago and been wanting to try, but hadn't had a chance until now. Actually, another song that sort of inspired this. Peter would respond. By Kagura. It's Utakata, yeah. That's one of the first songs that one of my friends a friend in high school started showing me some J-rock, and that was, I think, the second song she showed me. And it's remained one of my favorites, so I took a little bit of inspiration from that, although I haven't had a chance to really listen that deep to it yet, to really analyze how it's made, what all goes into it. But I threw in a Koto and whatnot. Yeah. So, intro and outer, I did something kind of cool here. With this intro, for some reason I found automation a lot easier in Ableton than I found it in Cubase when I was using Cubase. So the bass guitar and the Koto, since it's the only thing that's playing at the beginning here, I have it sent to sends only rather than master, and then I just have it, does it show over here? I don't see where it shows here, so I'm going to tab over to this view. I have send A, the volume's all the way up to the top, so it's all going to send A, which really, I don't know why I didn't do this in master. This is kind of one of those looking back things. I really could have just put this into master, but essentially it goes through this EQ and then into master, and this EQ is slowly incrementing. Let me turn that down so y'all can hear me. And then it just turns off at that point. And it just applies that to the bass and the Koto. Makes it kind of cool. Almost underwater sound is how I described it when I listened to the next morning. And then the outro, I did something kind of cool here too. Let's see, Ender. Apparently it's that. Actually, I think I did it on a guitar group. So the guitar 1 and guitar 2 both go through this channel, this group channel here, I guess you call it, which is where I have compressor and the guitar rig. And then this Ender thing here, which essentially it's It's a ping pong delay. I had some sort of cool idea with it. But I started off by just automating the dry wet. So it starts off at 0, so you can't hear it at all. And it just slowly... Why don't I turn this on? I did the same thing with the bass. It just increments its dry wet. So slowly you hear more and more of the effects of the ping pong delay. And it turned out a lot cooler than I thought. Also, you can see here, I did have a bit more recorded for the bass and the guitar. I also had some more drums in Easy Drummer, but I was running out of time, and that's part of the 2-hour track challenge. So I just cut that piece out and made the track only 55 seconds instead. That's how these things go. Now there's something I don't remember. I was just noticed when I looked in here, I have the ring modulator, and apparently I did a little bit of that at the end as well. Did I do that here? I did not. That's the mix. So the mix goes from 0 to 100 there and then just cuts off. So there's no ring modulation, and there's slowly goes to all of it. Okay, cool. I just reverse engineered my own song. Here, let me solo the bass. Just to hear that ending effect. Solo the guitar now. That was kind of crappy guitar playing, to be honest. Still amazes me how that blends into the mix. That's actually kind of part of the reason why I started doing this, just to remind myself that I don't need to be perfect when I'm playing, because big project that I've been working on, eventually I'll get it released. I've been nitpicking myself way too hard with the guitar tracks. So yeah. Now that I listen to these things every week and I know that I just played crappy guitar, I know that it doesn't sound as bad in the final mix. Yeah, so I guess that's everything that I want to show off here. I still want to figure out a title. And I'm wondering if maybe I should just... Should I set this as the title? It means I don't understand. You know what, I'll do I don't understand. That will be my title. Where did the thing go? Understand. Yeah. Actually, seems kind of basic, that title. Something I don't understand. One of the longer titles I've made, just like last week's. Almost filled up that whole thing. But that's fine. So yeah, that's that title. Finalize that decision. Let me close Ableton. I don't know what it considered that I changed, but we'll go with that. So let me update my file in my main music library. This is kind of how I keep track of what I've premiered so far. Something I don't understand. Now the next thing I'd like to do here is to make the video that I'm going to upload to YouTube on Saturday. And actually, there's a bit of a correction. This is usually kind of the last thing I do, but I've actually been doing this wrong the last couple of weeks. So I used to use this command, or a command like this, to just make the visualizer and then drop in the audio in Blender, because that's my video editor. Drop the audio on top of that and export from there, then upload that to YouTube. I didn't like doing that. That was, it just seems so weird to just, it seemed like so much work to make an entire project for just to drop audio on it. And sure, FFmpeg can do it, and sure, it can. But it's, I discovered that it's actually, the way I did it the last couple of weeks was actually giving me problems. So this is actually correct, actually. Let me fix this. 2018-07-19. I'll start this encoding, and then I'll show what I found. And it's not that anybody watches these things, but just on the off chance that somebody is going through my backlog of these premieres, I want to show what's going on here. Oh, what I need to do first is make the backend. July 19th, something I don't understand. Export that. 19, close when complete. Okay, done with that. Try that again. There we go. So while that's encoding, I'll show you. I've showed the song off last week, and then I made the video for it. But just for reference, here's a little bit of this again. Okay. Here's the video I uploaded to YouTube, okay? You hear the difference? It's kind of subtle. I didn't notice it at first. Well, I mean, with this one I noticed at first because I've listened to this a million times, because this is actually one of my favorite things. But the first video I encoded this way, I didn't notice the difference. But if you listen closely, it's almost like it's scratchy, or like it's clipping, or if it's staticky or something like that. And the first video that I encoded this way did also use, was actually one of these Family Track songs, so I didn't notice it there either, because it kind of fit in. But it's definitely wrong. And I think what was happening is I was using an incorrect audio format. There's like it's incompatible with MP4. I remember Blender yelling at me once I thought about it. I remember Blender saying that the audio codec is incompatible with the container that I was choosing. And I thought about it and realized that it was exactly what I was doing with this old command. So I did a little bit of research, like half an hour before I started the stream, and came across this page on FFmpeg's website about encoding for YouTube. And it said to use MKV in all those examples. So I decided I'd just give that a try. I did a little bit more research as well. And then essentially all I'd have to do was switch this from MP4 to MKV. And that seems to have fixed the problem, because I went and already re-exported this here. I can hear it. But that sounds better. Yeah. Earbud's getting stuck on the keyboard there. So this one has finished encoding. Although the file name is kind of funny. Oh no, it's just cut off. Let me fix my other file names because I did that wrong. So since that finished encoding, let me listen to it, make sure it does actually sound right. Where is it? There it is. Bye. Yes, that does sound a lot better. It's for completion, I guess. Why don't I put this in here, except change that back to MP4. Call it a different file named bad or something. And then once that exports, it's only a 55-second song, so it won't take too long. And what on earth am I doing over here? There we go. I guess while we wait, I'll, oh, it's done. All right, so here is Bad 2018-719. This doesn't sound too bad, actually. I don't know. I'm good with doing MKV though. That seems to be working as well. So I'll just stick with that as the make sure that's in the template. Pull the structured video visualizer script. Oh shoot. This is the template. I wrecked my template with the date. Where else do I need that? Here. And here. All right, so template is fixed. Let me check that. Yeah, okay, I will, 2018-07-19. I thought something seemed kind of funny. I thought I left this as MP4 so that I can change it on screen. Oh well, I explained it anyway. Not that I'm ever going to run this script again, but just for the sake of backlog? I don't know. There's a word I'm looking for. So that is MKV, that's good, and I will insert these values next week when I run the script. I don't know why I don't just change it now, it's just a weird thing I do. Get me in the habit. But actually I'm going to end end this stream right around now. Yes. I would like to mention that the 2-hour album challenge is coming up over the weekend. So if you're a musician, you want to try a challenge like the 2-hour track challenge. I want to try the 2-hour track challenge. One, it's recommended. Two, it's really fun this weekend because we have a whole bunch of us doing it at the same time, and a lot of us streaming as well. You're not required to stream. I guess I can put up my done screen. And it's a... I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the 2-hour album challenge, right? Yes. I will put a link in chat in case you're interested. There you go. So the theme will be selected on Friday, and then we're all gonna make some sort of song over the weekend. I'll be doing mine on Friday evening. That does not look centered. That's better. And I guess that's it. So I will see you around, and have a good life.